you have reached step number 5 in setting up your guitar. This is about intonation, which is adjusting the bridge and saddles to make sure the strings are in tune as much as possible up and down the neck. It's a little detailed, but you can do it. You've made it this far. All right, we are at the last step of the guitar setup process. Intonation is vital for making sure your guitar sounds in tune down here and up here. Now, this is way out of tune right now. First thing you want to do is to use a very good tuner. This one is affordable, but it's a plug-in type, which I really like because it gives a more accurate reading than just the headstock vibration tuners. This one gives the actual outgoing signal of the guitar. That's why I like it. Now, we're using standard tuning, so I'm going to go back through and tune the guitar as perfectly as possible. Once again, I'll stretch the strings a little bit first. I have all the strings in tune. Now it's time to check how well it's tuned from the lowest to the highest point. I like to carry the guitar with a strap during this process because you want to have it in playing position so the neck is hanging the way it will normally hang when you're playing it. If you lay it on your workbench, it can actually put some pressure on the neck and cause it to bend out of tune, and then when you lift it up to play, it's not going to be accurate. So here's what we do. I hang it on my strap. I use the nice locking straps. That's key because this process you're going back and forth. And what I do is I check, so I already have it in tune. I check the low E, looking pretty good on my plug-in tuner. Now, what I want to do is go up to the 12th fret and hold it down. But you don't want to press like you're trying to hurt somebody. You just want to press enough to hear the note. Now this one reads perfectly, so that's really good. I have the E is in tune open. When I play it at the high registry at the octave, it's reading a little bit sharp. We're going to wait before we make any adjustments. I want to show you why. Let's do the A. That sounds good there in tune. It's reading a little bit high there. I'm going to go through and do all of them. All right, let's go back to the B. That's reading noticeably high. So that is tuned very sharp at that octave. So we'll come back to that. That is right on. Now, before I go and make any adjustments, I like to play the guitar with some open, cowboy chords. Play a G maybe. I hear something's out. So what I do is I like to check how it sounds down here too, because oftentimes you'll get kind of a sharp reading at the 12th fret, but it's not really sharp down here where you're going to be playing most of the time. That is, sometimes it's unexplainable. I have no idea. There have been times I've gotten it perfect at the 12th fret and it's out of whack here and vice versa. For now, we're just going to see what it sounds like in open tuning. Most of them that were out were sharp. So what we need to do, let's start with the high E, see what's in tune. Let's check the high octave. It looks good there. Let's go back to this G. It's a little sharp. So when it's sharp, you need to stretch the string a little bit. So we give a few little turns here, not too far. Okay, now watch, it's gonna go out of tune. It's gonna be way out of tune. It's really high now. So let's stretch it. Now, once we get the first string where we want it tuned well, then we can move on to the next string. We just work our way up using our tuner and we check each string. It's reading a little low. So what we need to do is loosen this string a little bit at a time. Stretch it again. See how low it is? Tune it. This is the tedious part of the setup process. Now let's check it again at the high, the octave. Wait, it's not quite in tune. There we go. That's pretty perfect. Now, it's really important you get it in tune down low here. Let's go to this. This D. Still reading a little hot. Yeah, I'm gonna lower it a little bit because you have to compromise sometimes, right? You have to compromise where it sounds most in tune. How's that D sound right here? It's a back and forth game. Basically, you go all the way through all the strings. Make sure they're as close as possible to being in tune at the octave and then in the low cowboy chord registry. I want to show you a little tip that will help you make sure you're not making some crazy adjustments on the intonation. So look closely at this bridge, okay? You'll see the individual saddles here, right? If you look at the pattern and way that they're set up on the body, you'll notice this low E is closer to the bottom of the saddle. This one's a little further away, and this one's pretty far away. So it's like a step, 1, 2, 3, upward. Then this one generally, not always, but generally goes back down about the same distance as the low E, maybe a little more distance here. You have this one, and this one steps up a little more that direction, and then we move on to that one. So when you're making the adjustments on these screws down here, you don't want to get in here with a power drill and like go brrr. You'll cause some serious issues because you'll probably tighten it too much and then you'll be way out of tune and have to start over. The next adjustment we need to make is to raise or lower the pickups according to, really it's a matter of taste, but generally the specs I've read on different brands, you want somewhere between 1/8 and a little heavy, maybe 3/32 between the top of the metal poles or anything protruding from the pickup to the bottom of the string when you're pressing down the fret, right? So right now, these are pretty far away. If you notice, this neck pickup is much further away than the bridge pickup. So what that's going to do, generally, this lower pickup at the bridge is going to pick up more sound. Now, there's a lot of different variables. This pickup might be weaker in output as compared to this one, so possibly it was set up this way by the previous owner. But I think I'm going to raise this pickup because it's pretty dang far from the strings. And even when I'm pressing down, I look over on this bass side, and it's still a good, boy, that's pretty far away. I'm going to adjust it, and we'll see if we can make it a little closer without it rubbing the strings. You don't want the strings to be too close. So what we do, usually I think you kind of get a feel for it. You twist it clockwise, which pulls the pickup upward, okay? I did like, I don't know, 3 or 4 turns. Let's see how that looks. I've heard different guys, you know, some of the tech guys I watch on YouTube, you can be really picky about this and use feeler gauges, or you can play it by ear. I generally play it by ear, but if someone tells me they want a certain setting, I'll put it right there for them. So look, that's a lot closer. It's still not as close as I'd like it to be, but it's better. And the low end is about the same as I looked across there. Let's go a little higher. So we hold down that string, and then we're gonna see how close they are. All right, see how close the string gets? Now, the danger is if you put it too close, you can actually cause the string to vibrate erratically because the magnetic field in there causes things to go out of whack. Let's do a sound check and we'll see if we have a consistent, close to consistent volume from each pickup. That's really important. Unless you specifically want your, you know, maybe your neck pickup to give a lower volume output, you can lower it and get it out of the way. Now we are going to test the volume output of the pickups in the different positions. This particular guitar has 3 pickup positions. It's pretty simple. What we do is we want to put it in the upper position, so we're hearing this pickup by itself. Let's just play this little something and see how it sounds. let's move it to the middle position. We should not have a noticeable jump or decline in volume. Let's move it all the way up to the bridge. So I like that. It's kind of consistent all the way around. See that? Nice steady volume. You may prefer to have your bridge pick up more output, so raise it up a little bit if you want to. That's how you make sure you have a nice pickup height adjustment. I'm going to tell you my opinion. My opinion. You can give your opinion below. Correct me, whatever you want. But my opinion is it's a matter of taste. I personally like my pickups to be consistent. If I have 3 pickups, I especially want them to be consistent because often you're blending 2 and I don't want one overriding the other. So, nice steady volume all the way through. I really appreciate you watching my video, and if you've enjoyed it, please do me 3 favors. Easy, free, fast. Subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers, the more people get to see the videos. Like the video, it's easy. Click that button, you'll like it. And I'd love to hear your comments. Give me your feedback. There's been some negative feedback on previous videos, and I've learned stuff. Leave your feedback. I appreciate it. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a little tune, and I will see you next time on Matt Guitar Mania. Let's move to the middle position. See you later, guys.